Hey guys, welcome to You the Boss podcast, episode 82. I'm your host, Pam. And today we're going to be talking about something that might completely shift the way that you approach your goals and probably your entire life. Because here's the truth. You don't get what you want in life, you get what you are. And I know that this might hit a little hard, but I want you to stay with me. I want you to actually get the message here because it is an empowering message. Today's episode is all about becoming the person that your goals require of you. It's not about just setting goals. It's not about just getting motivated for a few days, but actually shifting your identity so that the life that you want becomes inevitable. So let's start with why goals alone don't work. Most people are focused on what they want. I want to lose weight. I want to be more confident. I want to make more money. I want to be consistent. I want to be better in my relationships. I want to show up more as a parent. I want to show up more as a sibling. But the problem is that if your identity doesn't match your goal, you're always going to self-sabotage because your brain is constantly trying to keep you aligned with who you believe that you are. So if you say I want to be confident, but deep down you feel things like I'm awkward or I'm not good enough, you're going to shrink yourself without you even realizing it. You're going to get in the way of that person that you're trying to align with. If you say that you want to be disciplined, but your identity is I'm lazy, I never stick to things, I never see things through, or I stay committed for a little while and then I fall off. This happens and you're never going to prove to yourself that the belief is is any different than what you already believe. And this is why a lot of the time people can have the perfect plan, they can have the perfect situation, the perfect circumstances, and they still don't follow through. It's not that you're not disciplined, it's that there's an identity mismatch. There's a place that's everything is just not aligning. Like a puzzle piece, you're trying to fit a corner piece in the center and it's just not working out. So we can flip the script a little bit. Instead of asking, what do I want to achieve? Start asking, who do I need to become to naturally achieve this? Because the version of you who already has that life thinks differently. They show up differently. They function in a way where they're already doing the things that you want to do. For example, this person who's consistent, they don't wake up every day feeling motivated. They don't wake up every day being perfect. Everything is not perfect. They don't read 15 to 20 minutes before they go to bed. They don't do that perfectly every single day. Some days that looks like they'll read for 15, 20 minutes in the morning and then by the time they hit the bed at night, it's like they're super exhausted. Or maybe they take the 15 to 20 minutes and read during the day because they know that when they get home, they have a super long day. They see themselves as someone who shows up. The person who is confident, they don't wait to feel ready. They just do, which we've talked about a little bit on the podcast this year. They identify with someone who handles things even when it's uncomfortable. They show up even when it's uncomfortable. The person who has peace in their life, they've built boundaries, they've built habits and thought patterns that support that identity. So the shift is you don't wait to become this person after the results. It's not the You're not going to go out and buy this perfect outfit today. It's in the same way that I can use the example that if you are getting married or you're looking to buy a home, you're not going to get the perfect outfit beforehand. You don't buy your wedding dress before you meet the person that you're going to marry. You meet the person you're going to marry and get engaged, and then you buy the perfect wedding dress. And that shift is just to show you that you have to become the person first. You have to align with the habits and the different things that align with that identity for you to be able to become that person first before you decide that you are. So, this next part of this episode, I'm going to talk a little bit about the tools like I normally do. As always, take this with a supermarket approach. I have said this several times before, but you might you might pick up a few things from this episode that don't completely align with you, and that's okay. You're not supposed to align with every single thing whenever you listen to a podcast or you listen to someone or you see a meme or you see a reel. Everything is not supposed to exactly add up for you, and that's the point. The point is not to automatically apply things, it is to pick one or two that function for you right now and take it from there. So here's a few tools that I'd come up with that you can start using today. Number one, the identity statement. I want you to create a simple sentence. For example, the person that I'm becoming is someone who blank. Fill in the blank. Maybe it's the person I'm becoming is someone who shows up even when it's hard. They take care of their body. They keep promises to themselves. They protect their peace. They have firm but fluid boundaries. Like sometimes the boundaries can look a little bit different. This isn't about perfection, it's about direction. Read this daily, especially on the days that you don't feel like it. Put it as a background on your phone. Put it on your steering wheel. Put it on your mirror every single morning. Put it where you're going to see it daily. And the purpose of that is to rewire your subconscious brain. Number two, build evidence daily. Your identity is shaped by proof. We are instinctual creatures where when we see something as truth, we believe it. That being said, every day ask yourself, what did I do today that supports the person that I'm becoming? And it doesn't have to be this grand thing. You don't have to run 10 miles every single day to believe that you're working on your self-care and taking care of your physical body. You don't need to lift a new PR or go through a new, fill all your rings every single day. It can be something small. If you went for a walk today and you started that journey for yourself, that counts. If you chose to not have a super sugary drink at some point throughout the day because you know that that's not serving you, that aligns as the person that you're becoming. So make sure you note that down. That's evidence. If you paused instead of reacting emotionally to something, that's evidence. If you chose rest instead of burning out, instead of putting yourself in a box to do something that you have no energy to do, that's evidence. Small wins matter more than you think. Number three, the decision filter. This one is powerful. It's powerful because I believe in having a lot of filters throughout our lives and putting things through those filters automatically. In this case, the decision filter. Before you make a decision, make sure you're asking yourself, what would the version of me who already has this life do? What would that person follow up with on this? And then do that. It's not about being perfect. It's not about being dramatic. It's just about the intentionality behind it. This removes overthinking and it helps you act in alignment. It helps you act as the person that you want to become. It helps put you in the same room as that girl or as that guy who is showing up as the person that you say that you want to become. Number four, align your environment. Your environment shapes your identity more than your motivation ever will. So I always use the gym analogy. If you want to be healthier and you want to live a more health conscious life, hanging out at a fast food place with a bunch of people who only hang out at fast food places is not really going to take you there. Or if you're looking to further yourself in your business and aligning with people who are not looking to do that in their own businesses, that's not putting yourself in that right environment. So look at what you're consuming online. Look at the conversations that you're a part of, the physical spaces that you're in. Look at the TV shows that you're consuming, the books that you're reading, the little YouTube clips, because I know people are quick to be like, oh, I'm not really on Instagram like that. I don't have TikTok. I'm like, okay, well, what does your YouTube look like? What are you watching on your TV? What kind of reality TV or your little shopping networks? What are you looking at there? What kind of magazines or newspapers or conversations or even billboards are you really paying attention to? I know some of these are things that we don't have necessarily control over, but what are you putting yourself in that environment? What is your environment looking like? Ask yourself, does this reflect the person that I'm becoming? Is this the person that I want to be, the person that's constantly on their phone, or the person that is constantly watching XYZ, mindless quote unquote TV? Listen, I'm guilty of this. I'm guilty of putting on The Secret Life of Mormon Wives. It's me. I'm with it. I'm also talking to myself. So I'm not saying these things to you for there to be guilt, but I'm bringing it up to you to say, is the insert version of you that you want to become, is that person overconsumed by those things? And if that answer is not yes, then just start making the small shifts. Just start realigning your environment. I want to set you up with a weekly identity check in. This is a little bit different than what we've done in the past here on the podcast because I typically just give you a little bit of homework towards the end of an episode and I say, hey, in the next week, I want you to XYZ. So I actually want to set you up on this little bit of a weekly identity check in. And I'll be doing some of this on my story, on You the Boss, the Instagram, and I'll definitely be posting on the socials about this because I love to connect with you guys and I love to kind of set that rhythm up. But I want you to once a week reflect, where this week did I act like my old self? Did I lash out because I was overstimulated, because I was consistently on my phone? Did I lash out, period? Something that I'm not looking to align with anymore. Where did I show up as my next level self? And I want you to ask these questions for yourself. I want you to align with that with no judgment. This is not a judgment place. Again, we lead from a position of progress, not perfection, but just have some awareness, because awareness is what creates that change. You being aware of maybe some of the places that you're falling short, that is what creates that different change. Now, we have to talk a little bit about something that is important, and it is the uncomfortability, the discomfort of growth. Becoming a new version of yourself is going to feel uncomfortable. I had a conversation recently with my therapist, and something that she directly aligned to me was, it's not because you're doing something wrong, it's because you're so used to doing it a different way, and now it's uncomfortable because you're choosing yourself. And so I want to present that to you. The reason that this becoming new version of yourself feels uncomfortable is because you might feel doubt, you might feel fear, resistance. You might even feel a little bit of imposter syndrome. And that's normal because your brain is wired to keep you in what's familiar. We've talked about that here on this podcast a few times, where it's not that it's wrong, it's just that your brain is used to a certain space. So sometimes it has muscle memory and you want to automatically go in that direction. And even if it's not familiar, even if it is familiar, it's not what you want anymore. So instead of thinking this is uncomfortable, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, maybe this is wrong, maybe this doesn't align with me, try the statement of, this feels uncomfortable because I'm growing. Discomfort is not a sign for you to stop, it is a sign of confirmation. I have a few books recommended for you here for some deeper growth. If you want to go deeper into this work, there are a few powerful reads that I am going to mention. As always, take it as a supermarket approach. I know a lot of people will say, I don't like to read self-help books. I don't align with that. I happen to like self-help books, but I also really like my romance books, and I love to change between them. So again, you can consume the material that I'm going to give you. You can consume it in audiobooks. You can go on YouTube and probably find it in a different capacity. Do what works for you. These are just suggestions. The first book is Mindset by Carol S. Dweck. I have mentioned this book before in different episodes, and this is just going to help you to shift from a fixed identity to a growth identity. The second one is The Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown. This is a beautiful reminder that who you are is enough and a foundation for growth. And the last one is Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Waltz. This one's a little bit dense, I will say, but it is a classic on self-image and how it shapes your results and that kind of a thing. So note that it is a little thick, but it is definitely good material. So I want to leave you with this. Your goals are not just asking you to do more. They're asking you to become more, to think differently, to choose differently, to show up differently. Ask yourself, who do my goals require me to become? And what's a small action that I can take today that aligns with that version of myself? Not next week, not when XYZ happens in the world, not when XYZ happens in your home, not when you feel quote unquote ready. Today. You don't chase the life that you want, you become the person who naturally lives it. And I promise you, that version of you already exists. You're just meeting them one decision at a time. I'll talk to you guys next week. Thank you for listening. Come back again for another episode of You the Boss podcast.